Greetings, everyone. Well, hey, it's update time again. Yay! Got kind of a Mondo, little bit of everything update for you today. Got some Blu-rays, got some couple games, got some comics. So rather than split it all up, let's just do it all in one. Yeah, let's just do a mega update. So here we go. Comics, Blu-rays, and games. Update time today on the Multimedia Chronicles. Welcome back. Okay, so let's start with the comics actually, because I can put the comics on the shelf here and some crumbs on there, and then kind of put the movies and games in front of them. All right, so starting off here, with funds being kind of tight over the past little while, I kind of fell behind in the various comic book series that I've been collecting. I'm not collecting a ton of comics right now, as you know, but there's a few that kind of caught my eye and I've been trying to keep up with. One of which is this one. We have Gem and the Holograms. Yeah, there you go. So this is the holiday special, which came out, I guess, around Christmas or thereabouts. But, yeah, so I found out I'd actually fallen quite a few issues behind. So time to get up to date. So we got issue... So we got the holiday special, and then we have issue number 7, which continues on from the end of the original 6-issue sort of origin story. And then we got issue 8. Very nice indeed. New artist on these ones, apparently. The artist of the original 6-issue one is coming back as of issue 11, I believe. And then we got issue number 9. Very cool. And then finally we have issue number 10, which is basically one that kind of focuses on Rio a little bit and gives you a bit more of his background. And then finally, last but most certainly not least, trade paperback. As you know, I've been picking these up as they come out. We have Volume 4 of Green Arrow. Yes, more of the Mike Grell penned series from the late 80s, early 90s. Just fantastic stuff. This one actually features a big multi-part story talking about Shadow. Or meets up with Shadow again. Very cool stuff. So this contains issues 21 through 28 of the series. Really glad to see they're putting more than just 6 issues in these now. And there is a volume 5 coming as well. I did check on Amazon, so very cool. I will definitely be picking that one up as soon as it comes out. So we have some covers. I'll show you some covers. Let's look at some covers. There we go. Yeah, so this has the Blood of the Dragon 4-part story. There you go. You get a look at a couple of covers there. One thing I like about these trade paperbacks is they're actually very affordable. They have they don't use like super glossy, expensive paper, but they're still very nice, as you can see, and they reproduce the colors quite nicely indeed. And then if we take a look, come on, you can do it. Where is it? There we go. This is kind of cool. The two covers are kind of looking at each other. Spooky. There we go. And then I think there's 2 more. Yes, there we go. And then we got those 2 there. So 27 and 28. Very nice indeed. Yeah, if you're a fan of Arrow, or just Green Arrow in general, and you've never read Mike Grell's run on the comic, you are really doing yourself a disservice. You absolutely need to read those. They are so damn good. It's easily my favorite version of Green Arrow ever that I've seen. And actually Arrow, the current series, seems to draw a lot of its inspiration from that in terms of the the urban Robin Hood kind of thing. And yeah, well, and Shadow, the character Shadow, which figures so prominently in the show, figured quite prominently in these comics. She was introduced actually in the Longbow Hunters back in the day, and then this series picks up where the Longbow Hunters left off. So very cool. So pick up the Longbow Hunters, and then pick up the 4 volumes that are out so far of Green Arrow, and pre-order Volume 5, because you know you're going to want to. Alright, so next up, let's take a look at games. Let's do games, because I got a couple of games here, and I've been playing games like crazy lately. Actually, hold on a second. I'm just going to take the price tag off this one so it's not obscuring the labels quite so much. Hold on a second. Almost got it. Ah, it's tearing. Hold on. I almost got it here. Just marvel at my bald spot while I'm getting this going here. Don't look directly into the bald spot. Well, it's not a bald spot. It's like a thinning spot. So not quite bald yet. God damn it. Yes, this growing out of the hair is my protest against natural male pattern baldness. So fuck going bald. All right, so carrying on here, this is one I picked up the sequel a little while ago. Been really wanting to get my hands on the original again to replay that before jumping into the second one. Finally found it at EB Games. We have The Darkness, yes, which I used to have a long time. This is one of the first games I ever bought for the PS3, actually. And, well, now I finally have it again. So, hooray! Really enjoyed this game a lot. It's basically a first-person shooter but you also have supernatural powers. And it's pretty wild and crazy. It's like a mob story with a supernatural twist. And really good story, beautiful character animation in it, and just some fantastic voice acting, I have to say. Really, really well done. I really like that a lot. I really got to get off my ass and read some of the original comics that's based on one of these days. But yeah, so definitely looking forward to playing this again and then jumping into the sequel. And this time around, I will do like a full playthrough for you to watch and enjoy. And then second, last, but most definitely not least, I just did a first impressions playthrough of this really recently. Enjoyed it so much, I had to go out and get the game. And I'm glad I did, because apparently the company that made this game is out of business and is in the center of a bit of a scandal regarding that. So chances are we won't see a re-release of this one anytime soon. I'm sure it will eventually, but for the time being, nope. So get it while you can, if this is one that caught your eye. Picked up Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. There you go. So, got the game, played the demo, loved it, bought the game. This was the one I was taking the price tags off. It was like $15. I don't know how well you can see that, but anyway. Yeah, so pretty cool. Good stuff. There is some DLC for it as well. There's 3 DLC levels that give you some more quests. One of which is free, actually, and the other 2 of which are $10 each. So, probably going to pick those up and complete the saga, as it were, because it doesn't look like we're going to get any sequels, like, ever. So, enjoy what there is while you can. But, hey, sometimes that's not a bad thing, you know? Why not have one game that's just awesome on its own and then move on to other things? You know, then you don't run the series into the ground, as it were. All right, so speaking of running the series into the ground, picked this one up because it was on sale for Boxing Week. That's it for the games, by the way. On to the movies. On sale for Boxing Week on Amazon. Grabbed it, and boy, it just shows you how little people care about this movie, because I even got it with the slipcover, and it's been out for a couple of years. We have The Amazing Spider-Man 2 in 3D, and I can't get there with the slipcover. I don't know why. There we go, with the slipcover. Very nice. It's a little tight. I haven't even taken it out of the shrink wrap. I actually do not own the first one. I saw the first one back when it came out. Not in theaters. It was a friend of mine had it on video. But, yeah, I still like the Sam Raimi ones better, to be honest. I remember seeing the trailers for this one when it first started, you know, getting some press. And my first thought, seeing the trailer for Amazing Spider-Man 2, was, wow, that looks like a huge clusterfuck. And from those I've spoken to who have seen it, apparently, yes, it was a huge clusterfuck. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what I think about it when it comes out. I actually meant to show this one in the previous update, the holiday update, but I forgot. I had unwrapped it and set it aside. Like I'd taken it out of the packaging, set it aside, and then forgot that I got it. That's how excited I was. I mean, the only reason I got it mainly is because I'm a completist for series of films and whatnot, and I do love me some Spider-Man, and I'm sure there's something to like in there, if only seeing Spidey swinging around and kicking bad guys' asses. Yeah, but yeah, I really like the Sam Raimi ones. Even the third one. I know a lot of people shit on the third one, but whatever. I think there's a lot of good to be had there. All right, perhaps that's a story for another time. Next up, well, I got the collection like 2 Halloweens ago. I figured I might as well pick up the last chapter I need to complete the set. Got Freddy versus Jason. Yeah, plus it was on sale for $5, so how can you go wrong there? This is nothing spectacular. It's well, it's got some nice disc art on it. Not an eco case, at least, so that's good. Nice disc art on there. And what can I say? Freddy vs. Jason. I actually saw this in the theaters when it was originally out. Yeah, there's actually very few of the. Actually, no. What am I talking about? Yeah, I've seen very few of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies in theaters. I was too young at the time because when they came out, I was like 14 to 16 for the first three, or no, like 13. What am I talking about? No, I was 12. I was 12 when the first one came out. I saw it when I was 13 because it was on pay TV. But yeah, and then the rest, I mean, I was still too young to see them in theater. The first one I actually saw in theaters was number 4, The Dream Master. And partly because, and that one wasn't even rated R here. It was rated like 14A or something. So, yeah, you know you're in trouble when your horror franchise is getting less and less extreme ratings. Then the 5th one came out. I could have gone to see that in theaters. I didn't. I missed the 6th one. I missed the 7th one. Didn't see them until I actually got them on Laserdisc. And then, but I did see Freddy vs. Jason in the theater. So that's pretty much the whole story. Now, a few updates ago, I picked up the first of this collection of 2 movies, and the only reason I didn't get the second one is because they didn't seem to have it in stock, at least I didn't see it there at the time. Finally found it, picked it up, got Tales from the Crypt, Bordello of Blood. Yes. So as you know, I also have the other one, which I picked up a little while ago, just to show them all both side by side. I got Demon Knight, very nice. And so this is Bordello of Blood, and being a Scream Factory collector's edition, it does, of course, have the original theatrical poster on there as well. So you get new art and classic art. So there you go. Pretty cool. I have not seen Bordello of Blood, actually, so this one will be entirely new to me. I've seen Demon Knight quite a few times. I actually used to have it on Laserdisc, and then I had it on DVD, and saw it in the theater originally. So I've seen Demon Knight quite a few times. I like that one a lot. I think it's a lot of fun. I've heard from some people that Bordello of Blood is not as good, but I don't know. Whatever. We'll wait and see. We'll see what I think of that one. I'm just gonna shove these over a little bit here. There you go. We'll put the horror together. There we go. Looks good. All right, so next up, this is one that I've had my eye on for a very long time. My mom is a huge fan of the book of this, and I remember she and my dad watching this, which is basically a grand, sprawling miniseries adaptation of it. I remember seeing bits of it when it was originally on, but when did this come out? It was like 1980, so I was 8 years old when this was originally on TV. Little too young to appreciate it, shall we say, and probably would have found it a little bit disturbing in parts anyway. So we have the epic miniseries adaptation of James Clavell's Shogun. Yes, on Blu-ray. They actually put it on Blu-ray recently, which is pretty rare for these miniseries events. But, I mean, the whole thing was shot on 35mm film. Pretty notable in that it was I believe, the one and only American miniseries ever to be shot in Japan. They actually went to Japan to film this and use a lot of the historical locations and whatnot. I mean, it's a period piece set in, the feudal times, as it were. But, when is it set? It's set in the 17th century, yeah. So, way back in the day. But the interesting thing about this is the miniseries originally aired on television in 5 parts. So it was 5 2-hour parts, or about an hour and a half without commercials. The Blu-ray edition, and apparently this was the same for the DVD edition that was put out a few years ago, actually presents the whole thing as one single continuous 9-hour-long movie. So it's just like one hella long movie. Excuse me, trying not to yawn while I'm talking. Hella long movie. Yeah. just noticed my voice quavered there, so why not play it up a bit? Yeah, so I've been watching the hell out of this over the course of the week, just, coming home after work, banging off another hour and a half of it. Yeah, so I mean, nothing is cut out. It's all there. The only thing that's been cut out is, I guess, the opening and closing titles of the individual episodes. And I don't know if they did episode recaps or if they just went right into it or whatever. But basically, all of the story is there. You're not missing anything. So, and honestly, it works quite well as just a gigantic freaking movie. So, why not? And I mean, it is one massive story anyway. I mean, it's based on a 1,200-page novel. And, yeah, I would really like to read the novel of that. It's just a matter of having the time, I mean, there's so much more reading I'd love to be able to do. But, I mean, it really is a time commitment. And I have so many things on the go these days that it's really hard to find the time to sit down and read a 1,200-page book, But in the meantime, at least I have the 9-hour miniseries to watch. You can just watch in bits and pieces along the way. But really good stuff. Stars Richard Chamberlain, who was like in a lot of miniseries back then, and TV movies and whatnot. And also Toshiro Mifune, who anybody who is a fan of Akira Kurosawa's works will know that name. He was in a lot of samurai films in the 50s right through to the 60s and a little bit into the 70s, I think. But, I mean, he's considered one of the all-time great samurai film stars, so it's awesome that they got him in this. I might do something, I might talk about this a little bit more at some point. Needless to say, I've been really enjoying it a lot. So, anyway, carrying on. This is one that I've been meaning to pick up since it came out, because it was actually fairly affordable. It has since gone up by $2 whole. So I thought I better jump on it before it goes up anymore, especially being a Disney film. And Disney's Blu-rays are notorious for being expensive and never going on sale. So when this came out, it was $24.99. I picked it up for $26.99. I figured I better jump on it quick because I was seeing that the beautiful shiny slipcover was starting to disappear. And I'd really like to have it with the slipcover. So I'm, of course, talking about Disney's Aladdin, the Diamond Edition. Yeah, check this out. Very nice. You see how shiny that is? You see that? Look at the shininess. It's like crazy shiny. Ah! Alright, so here we have the, it's with the slipcover. It's very nice. Basically just the same artwork on both. Yeah, what can I say? It's Disney's Aladdin. Awesome stuff. I don't buy a lot of Disney films, as you probably noticed. But there are a few that, are of note to me. Aladdin is one of them. Always really enjoyed that. Yeah, and there's a few others that I'll probably grab when they come out, or if I see them on sale or whatever. I think some of them actually already are out. What are they? What are the other Disney movies that are important to me personally? Well, you'll find out as I get them. Don't bother asking me in the comments because I'm not going to answer you. So there. Meh. Last, but most certainly not least, another one I decided to stop waiting on because I was noticing the slipcovers were disappearing. Picked up Terminator Genisys 3D. Yes. Just in time for the sequel to be shelved, apparently. I don't know. The Terminator franchise has changed hands so many times over the years. Been through so many different studios and gone through so many creative issues. I just don't get what the problem is. Why does Terminator keep getting, dicked around? We should have had like 10 of them by now. But anyway, yeah, so I'm a huge fan of the Terminator franchise. Have been basically since the first one. When I first saw it, I guess in 1985, when I was like 13. Actually, would have been the same time I saw the first Nightmare on Elm Street, funny enough. So, yeah, and I loved the first one, loved the second one. I think they're two of the most perfect sci-fi action films ever made. And just terrific stuff. I even like the third and fourth ones. I know a lot of fans shit all over them, but I like them. So sue me. Also really liked the Sarah Connor Chronicles, the TV series. Really sucks that it got canned after 2 seasons because it was going in some really interesting directions. And I was really enjoying it a lot. So kind of funny, speaking of which, the Sarah Connor Chronicles starred Lena Headey as Sarah Connor, who of course now is Cersei Lannister on Game of Thrones, and this one stars, I don't even know the actress's name. What's her name? Her name is don't tell you who's in it. Hold on. I'll find it. Emilia Clarke. There we go. Sorry. I just know her as Daenerys Targaryen, Khaleesi. So Daenerys Targaryen, Emilia Clarke, Khaleesi is Sarah Connor in this one. So another Game of Thrones alumni plays Sarah Connor. So that's kind of cool. So anyway, definitely looking forward to checking that one out. I'll probably watch that sometime in the next couple days. Likely right after I finish Shogun, because Shogun's at a really tense part right now, and I just can't stop watching it at this point. That would be silly. I'm even itching to get back to it now while I'm doing this update. I'm like, I gotta do the update, but I want to watch more Shogun. That's miniseries event television for you, kiddies. It gets its hooks into you and makes you tune in night after night. Sweeps Week! Yeah! You just don't see stuff like that anymore. But anyway, there you go. I'm just babbling now, so I'm going to go. So that's it for the update. Some cool comics, games, and Blu-rays. Not a ton of stuff. I'm not going to be going too crazy. This actually represents about 2 to 3 weeks worth of stuff right here. So yeah, money's better now than it was over the past few months, but things are still a little tight, still kind of settling in. But at least enough that I can get a few things along the way. I mean, you got to get a few things. You got to treat yourself, or you go nuts. Come on. All right. That is it from me to you for now. So let me just take a quick moment to thank my Patreon sponsors. Thanks, Patreon sponsors. You guys and gals are awesome. Special big thanks to Kimberly Harmon and Kyle Pellegrini, my 2 highest level sponsors currently. Really appreciate the support, guys. And please consider becoming a Patreon sponsor, because it just helps keep the show going and getting bigger and better all the time. So, yeah, awesome. Alrighty, that is it from me to you for now. So until next time, thanks for watching, and sayonara.